what's up? How are you? I hope you're doing good. I hope everything's going cool, great, and dandy for you, and that you're having a good morning, afternoon, evening, or night whenever you stumble across this video and watch it. So fall is almost here. Like, I'm fucking counting. Whenever I'm working on my laptop, I'm just like, my eyes just go like every 2 fucking seconds just because we're in September. I don't like the heat. I think it's a common thing with book people. I think it's a common thing. Candles, fall, rainy days, dark-haired, morally grey, dark-eyed dudes. It's just like a thing we have. So since it's almost fall, I wanted to share some booksies that I've read, not in fall, but the entire time of me reading them, I was just thinking, this would have been better in fall. So first up, we have the Rivers of London series. This is such a versatile series. If you like books, you have it. If you don't and you enjoy comic books, it's also comics. I haven't read all of it, so like, don't, pin this on me if you don't like it. But what I've read so far, I love. So the series consists of 8 books. Starting with Rivers of London, it follows a detective who's magic. I loved it. I was not expecting it to be so out of the freaking blue, and I loved everything about it. It's Agatha Christie meets Harry Potter. There is a witch school. People. Like, met all of my love for witchcraft and all of my love for a murder mystery. It has music intertwined in it. Beautiful way. I loved how we get all sorts of quirky shit happening all over us, yet it still felt smooth and it's extremely well written. It's by Ben Aronovich. I've never read any of their books. This was a complete coincidence. This was a complete coincidence. Like, this entire book was just me doing a challenge thingy where I just picked a book based on the cover and read it, and I chose this one. It was a random pick, but I ended up absolutely loving it and picking up even more of the series. And I hope you give this one a try, because it was truly magical. It was like a world of contemporary supernatural Agatha Christie meets Harry Potter in the most beautiful way imaginable. Next book I wish I read this fall instead of summer is The Rules of Magic by Alice Hoffman. There is no doubt that this book is well loved and well adored between book people. It's an old fucking book, and I just read it this year because I just got my freaking hands on my sanity. So The Rules of Magic follows the Owens family as they grow up. We follow the new generation as they get to the world, and we follow them along while they discover their powers, discover themselves, discover their magic, and discover how powerful something we take for granted can be, how powerful love can be. As cringy as that sounds, this book did it in a really, really, really good way that had me in awe. And I did not expect the fucking inclusivity in this goddamn book. I mean, you go into it like reading old shit. You don't know what you're gonna get. You don't know if you're gonna get something good, something cringy, or something fucking racist. You know what I mean? But it was inclusive, and I loved that. Vincent is going to stay in my heart forever. Love the writing style. I loved how it flowed. You're gonna love it. It's fall. It has literally fall all over it. I mean, the cover is summery, but the book, I'm talking about the story. Anyways, the story is set in the 1960s. We are following the Owens family as they discover their curse. They are a cursed magical family. They are cursed to live without love, or that whenever they have love in their life, it just like something real bad happens to it, if you know what I mean. And finding love over and over again, and not giving up on happiness. Not giving up on finding happiness. And it was a hopeful book, and I loved it, and it was wholesome, and it just gave me so much fucking happiness. And I read it like a few months ago, and I'm still in awe of it. Next up, we have Wishes by V.E. Schwab. I have a plan for my bookshelf. I want the Schwab Shrine. I want a Schwab Shrine because I know for the damn fact I want more V.E. Schwab books, and whenever I get them, I need to make a Schwab Shrine. That sounds so fucking creepy. So Vicious follows the story of 2 college students, Victor Vale and Eli, as they decide what to do for their thesis. they did decide to do it on extraordinaries, which are basically superhumans, and they have this theory that if someone goes close to death, they like their body makes superpowers for them to live. What starts as an idea for a thesis and a slight experiment turns into something completely different and huge, and something that transforms these people's life, and we get to see the difference between power, what power does to people. I mean, the difference between people and what power does to them, and how it can affect them. While it affects Eli in a way, it affects Victor in a completely different way, and we get to fall in love with the villain. I loved everything about it. I talked about this recently actually in the summer wrap-up, because I've read this as well not long ago, like 3 months ago or something, and I'm still in love with it, and I'm still wanting to finish the series. This is a part of, I think it's gonna be a trilogy, but for now it's a duology. It's Vicious and Vengeful. It goes through different timelines, it's contemporary, it's V.E. fucking Schwab, so it's perfect. To continue my obsession, the next book that you need to read this fall is Adi Larue by also V.E. fucking Schwab. I said this, what I'm about to say right now, so many fucking times that it's actually kind of a speech, but I'm gonna say it again. So Adi Larue follows Adi in the 1700s in France as she makes a deal with the fucking devil, who you will fall in love with, trust me on that, by the way. It was so fun. I mean, it's tragic, but it was amazing at the same time. It's the kind of book, when I saw like the reviews, it's exactly the kind of book that you either love, like me, or completely don't understand how people can love it. And I don't understand you. That was me. It goes through different timelines. We follow her as she navigates her life being immortal and being cursed with something that I don't know if it's a spoiler or not. Not a spoiler. She gets deemed and cursed to be forgettable, so basically everyone who meets her forgets her just like that. If she steps out of a fucking room, you know her. Who is she? It did immortality different, and I loved it. Next up, we have Circe by Madeline Miller. Okay, so Circe follows Circe start in the house of Helios, which is the god of sun in Greek mythology. What I like about her books, her and Pat Barker's books about Greek mythology, I highly recommend their books if you're interested in Greek mythology, because it's romanticized to this huge point, but we forget the fucking sexism that's actually in it, and this like shows that a lot, especially Pat Barker, but we're talking about this now. So we follow Circe as she is born and as she grows up and as she discovers her abilities and her witch abilities. Yeah, she's a fucking witch. The storytelling is absolutely beautiful. The story just flows beautifully in it. It's a fucking masterpiece, and I loved every second of it. I immediately, I gave it 5 stars immediately after finishing it, and I immediately knew that it's going to be one of my favorite books. Last but not least, we have the Night Circus by Erin Morgenstern. I absolutely love this book, and I have not talked about it enough, so this is it. This is your time. Take it. This is your shine, baby boy. So the Night Circus follows a circus. You're here, there's nothing there. You're here, there's a fucking circus there. Boom, bitch, magic. I read this like years ago, so I fucking forgot, but I think I wasn't rating books then though. I actually read this after my dad passed. I think I read this like a month, or started reading this a month or 2 months after my dad passed away, and it was so fucking good that it was like the book that got me out of that mental state, because it was like 2 months, you know what I mean? So it just got me out of that mental state, which is like kudos to you, dude, because I wasn't able to literally do anything, let alone fucking pick up a book and read. And this succeeded. I tried so much after that period of time, like to pick up books and try to read and get into stories, but nothing fucking worked. Even my fucking beloved Harry fucking Potter books, nothing fucking worked. In here, something broke. And this succeeded. like it got me out of that state. It took me like months to finish it, and I'm happy about that because like I took my time with it, you know, and yeah, that's good. That's a good thing. Anyways, about the book, less about me, more about the book. The story follows a circus and everyone in it, everyone is magical, everyone is unique, and we follow a bunch of characters that are so freaking lovable, dude, except Celia's father. Everyone is just a chef's kiss, my dude. I loved everyone, how quirky they were, how messed they were, how weird and unique, and I wanted to be a part of it. I loved the storytelling and I loved the ending. It was so freaking satisfying. It's a book that splurges magic out of it. It just seeks magic. It speaks magic. It is magic, and it has magic throughout the pages, and I loved every second of it. I think I'm gonna make a part 2 of this because I still have books that are fall worthy. So if you like this, I'm gonna make a second part, you know, if you're looking for fall books. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for being here, for liking, for commenting, for disliking, for subscribing, for unsubscribing, or for interacting with me any shape, way, or form. Everything is greatly appreciated. And I'll see you next video. Bye.